Look at set builder and interval notation, and let's start off with set builder notation. First of all, what is a set? Well, a set looks something like this. You just have some squiggly brackets. Okay, so this is what we call a set notation. This is a set notation. And for set builder notation, we simply have the set, looks ugly, the set, the variable inside, and a bar. And this is read as the set of all x's. In this case, we have an x in the inside, so it's going to be the set of all x's. And this line is read as such that. You put something on the inside, then you just close your set. So dot, 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 and then you close your set. And for set builder notation, we use this symbol to represent or. It's a V, and the upside down V is used to represent and. Alright, now let's look at interval notation. For interval notation, when we have open parentheses like this is represented as not included. And when we have closed brackets, or I'm sorry, when we have square brackets, this is included. Okay? And for interval notation, the upside down, or not the upside down, the U represents or, and the upside down U will represent and. The U is actually called union, and the upside down U is actually called intersection. Okay, for interval notation, whenever we have parentheses or whenever we have infinities, so such as plus infinity or negative infinity, these will never be included. So you're always going to use open parentheses for these. So plus or minus infinity are never included. Now, none of this stuff actually makes any sense unless we look at an example. So let's do that right now. Let's take this example. Let's say we have this number line, and we have 3, and the shaded in portion is this way. Okay, so we shade in this way. First of all, we want to express this in terms of its regular inequality, and that's just simply x is greater than or equal to 3. Now, how do you represent this inequality as set builder and interval notation? Well, let's first look at set builder. So for set builder, we're going to start off the same way, the set of all x's such that, and the good thing about set builder is that whenever you have the inequality represented like this, x is greater than or equal to 3, you just copy that and put it inside. So we're just going to put that x is greater than or equal to 3, and you close the set. Okay, now let's represent this using interval notation. So for interval notation, let's first analyze the number line. When we look at it, the 3 has a closed circle. That closed circle represents inclusive. So let's write that down. So a little closed circle here means this is included. And we're shading in every single number after 3. So that's 4, 5, 6, all the way up to positive infinity. And now you guys can get an idea where we're going to use infinities for interval notation. So first thing we're going to do is write down the number we start off at, which is positive 3. Since it has a closed circle, this is included, so it's going to get a square bracket around it. So positive 3 with a square bracket around it. And after positive 3, it goes up to every number beyond 3. And the way we represent every number beyond 3 is by using positive infinity because it goes towards the positive side. So 3 comma positive infinity. And the infinities are never included, therefore we're going to close it off with a non-inclusive parentheses. And that's it. That's how I represent this in terms of interval notation. Let's look at another example. So let's say we have a closed circle at -7 and we're shading it towards the left. Okay? For set builder notation, well, actually before set builder notation, let's represent this in terms of an inequality. So we have what? X is less than -7. So now let's write this in terms of set builder notation. So for set builder notations, we start out the same exact way. The set of all x's such that, and again, once you have the inequality written, you just copy it inside. So we have x is less than -7, and you close your set. Now interval notation, again, is a little bit trickier. So let's write it down. Well, let's see where we start. We actually start at -infinity and we go all the way up to -7. Why? Because it's shaded towards the left of -7. It doesn't start off at -7 like question 1 started off at +3. So the way we represent that is by saying we come from -infinity and we go all the way up to -7. So -infinity comma -7. And infinities are never included, therefore the infinity will get a parentheses around it. And if you look at this 7 here, the 7 is also not included. Why? Because there's an open circle, so this is not included. So the 7 will also close off with a parentheses.